I say every week I'll try to make this quick, but it never happens. It never materializes, but damn it, I can try. So, the truck race I watched a tiny bit of, but it kind of turned into a predictable just mess, and it ended under yellow when it didn't need to, and that was disappointing. Um, really glad I didn't invest much of my time to that based on how the ending went, so that was nice. Xfinity was mostly good until the ending, where a cup regular just didn't give a shit and costed John Hunter multiple spots. You could say whatever you want about it being hard racing, but when a cup guy that has no business being in there affects a race, it goes beyond just like him taking a win, but like him actively like getting hit with. It's just fucking bullshit. I'm just tired of it. Tired of ranting about it. It's the same like anytime that happens. It's old. And what was going to be an enthralling finish got completely murdered by just that whole outcome. And people, I guess, don't people. I guess people just like to just gaslight each other or straw man or just forget that going into three, Larson turned right into John Hunter. Don't know why. That John Hunter gave him a bump, which I thought was reasonable. And then instead of being side by side, it just like all fell apart. I don't know. It's just a shame. It was close to being amazing and cool, but either way, it's annoying when a cup guy gets a win taken away from a regular, and Allgaier got second again. That's like his 49th career win. We factor in like all the Leach wins that he's been like the highest finishing regular like 49 times. And that was like his 30th time where he actually like was the highest regular. That's a whole other story about how much Justin Allgaier's career's been cucked by regular or cup guys, but Cup Series, we want to talk about that, right? That's the whole point of this video, right? I can't even get my camera right. So, yeah, Cup Series. The first stage was boring. Truex, utterly just slaughtered the competition to just a comical degree. Stage 2 was more the same, except because it was a long green flag run, because it was just racing. It did eventually happen. Truex was leading like usual. They had pit stops. Chastain was able to run Truex down, pass him. Then Truex was able to kind of, catch him back, and it was interesting. And then it all fell apart because Truex just gave up. Now, was he trying too hard because of the stage end? I don't know. But hey, this is just another instance of we don't need stages to make the race interesting. And, that was unfortunate. But either way, stage 2 was a lot better than stage 1. Maybe, I don't know by how much, but it was definitely alright. So up to this point, the race has been, a good bit above average. Nothing setting the world on fire, but definitely just a really normal, solid Darlington race, which, I can't really, I don't really have much issues with. You might hear the TV in the background, because, there we go. So, yeah, so then we get into the last stage, and everything just all falls apart. So Truex's day gets cucked by himself, because I don't know why Truex just decides to just stop trying, or I don't know what exactly happened. But then we get into just like another decent green flag run. We have another green flag cyclist stops. Larson actually was able to undercut, I believe, Chastain, and was able to get the lead. Same with Bell, and I was like, ooh, it's interesting. So then Larson had the lead. Bell was second, and Bell and Larson, and there's like 3 other guys. I don't know. They weren't super far out. It wasn't like a Truex like 4-second lead like before. It was like under a second, I think. So something still could happen, but everything all falls apart when we get a yellow with like 20 to go, and then it just ensued. Typical dumb shit show where we wreck, dumb shit happens, and it just took what I thought was maybe a 7 out of 10 race down to maybe a 4, and it's really disappointing and sad that the race just fell apart, collapsed in on itself from people being over aggressive. Chastain continues to be an utter wrecking ball week in and week out, and no one does anything. That's a whole other thing too. Chastain and Larson got together I don't know whose fault it was. It's probably a mix of both. But if I was Larson, I would be pissed. But he's just the soy boy beta bitch that just doesn't do confrontation. He'll drive super duper aggressive, but God forbid if he's outside that car, he won't do a goddamn thing. And that's exactly what happened. His race gets completely cucked and screwed by Larson, or not Larson, is fuck, by Chastain, and he does nothing about it. Doesn't go and kick his ass. Yeah, I remember when Gregson tried to do that. Yeah, that made Chastain look good. So that didn't work. And then I remember last week, Gregson's like Chase Elliott's being like, "Oh, look at you," and then Gregson said someone had to do it. So like, everyone else is just saying and talking all this shit, and they don't do anything. Chase is just as guilty of it as anyone else. But it's just dumb. And then Truex just gives up. He just forgets to turn. So that was fun. That was fun watching one of my only favorite drivers left in this series just completely embarrass himself and wreck himself in front of the whole field. That was sad. That was really fucking embarrassing. Good job, Truex. That was just pitiful and sad, and it just continued this just shit show train wreck. I think that was the first one that happened. Then the Larson Chastain thing that was after, but yeah, it just kind of turned into a shit show. And Harvick was second, but I knew Harvick had no shot because he got into one of the other previous incidents where he hit it and got damaged. So I knew he had no shot. He was just going to be a moving chicane. Lauren, what'd you know? He does nothing on the last start because his car just can't do anything. So Byron gets a win that he probably didn't deserve. And just a race that was going rather decently just evolved into a complete mess. And it's unfortunate. What do I say? What do I fucking say that? It's just unfortunate that a race just kind of just devolved into just barbarians just hitting a stick. I don't know. I don't know. I got told on Twitter that Jeff Bodine said to get over it, so I mean, I guess Jeff Bodine's fucking got me because God forbid someone criticized Chastain's driving ability being stupid. Maybe I don't ever really remember Earnhardt doing stupid shit and him getting himself involved in other crap. Why are we comparing Ross Chastain to fucking Dale Earnhardt? Is that how far we've fallen? What a joke. And Earnhardt's guilty of dumb shit too. Like, just because Chastain does it, that doesn't mean that just nullifies what the things Earnhardt did on track. That's fucking stupid. I'm tired of the bullshit straw mans from people that have no business being in this fucking sport anymore. Whatever, I don't know. It's just unfortunate. Just disappointing. I don't know what more I could possibly say. I mean, when I was younger, like 6 or 7 years ago, I probably would be like freaking out, ripping my clothes off, saying how insane this was. But it just kind of gets old when you see a race like be a race, and then it just stops being that, and then everybody just wrecks each other. Not really that entertaining. Of course, Larson does nothing to stand up for himself. It's just amazing how little he does to try to like defend himself. Like, I can't even say last year with the Bubba Wallace thing, because it looked like he was just really more baffled and confused of why Bubba would be mad. And I don't know. I don't fucking know. Don't care. So that's just my thoughts. It's just frustrating. There's just some weeks where I really like NASCAR, and other weeks where I really fucking don't. And I don't want to be like sitting here saying that, oh, I'm never watching it again. But it's frustrating when you get weeks like this where it just turns into that at the end. So it's unfortunate. That's why I'm giving it a 4. Maybe a 5. I don't know. What'd I say? Originally it was a 7. The 2 at the end there. Yeah, maybe a 5. Maybe a 5. I think that's a little more fair. Because it wasn't, like, before then, it wasn't just, like, reprehensible, like, irredeemable, awful racing. Like, it was actually just fine, so I think 5 is fine. I'm sure other people give it, like, an 8 or a 9 or, like, a perfect rating, but I'm not doing that. I have very, like, high standards. I'm not going to give a race a 10 if it's, like that. And giving a race a 10 would have to be, like, Darlington 2003 levels of greatness for that to be like a 10. I don't know, but I'm done. I'm done talking about it. It's just, what do you say to something like that? I'm done. See you later.